Hey there, guys. Brendan Dzwierzynski here with you for the first edition of the 580 Preps Rewind, recapping the games from the first week of high school football and every week of high school football and basketball for you from all 10 of our teams in Shawnee County. 8 teams from the city, 2 from the county as well. And what an exciting week of football it has been for the Topeka and Shawnee County schools. Here at Hummer Sports Park, right in the heart of the capital city, we just wrapped up the final game of the weekend. Unfortunately, a tough one for the Topeka High Trojans as they fell to the Maize Eagles and future Kansas State quarterback Avery Johnson by a margin of 78-7 to wrap up the weekend with the rare Saturday afternoon game. Johnson had an absolutely fantastic game for the Eagles. He completed almost all of his passes, 190 yards on just 11 attempts. He threw for 3 touchdowns, including touchdown passes of 10, 40, and 47 yards. He also ran for a score, and Maize just poured it on all game long. They scored a touchdown or a field goal on every single one of their offensive possessions. And they also scored on a punt return touchdown as well. Topeka High did get its one score in the second half. Jaden Norman on a 54-yard strike from senior quarterback Peyton Wheat, but that did it for the scoring for Topeka High in this one. So head coach Carlos Kelly's group falls to 0-1 on the season, whereas Maize, which will head to Andover Central next week, improves to 1-0. Topeka High, meanwhile, more importantly for our local purposes, has a tough game on the road against Joe Sharks' Manhattan Indians coming up next week. Plenty of action from around the city that we had on our airwaves on 580 WIUW and Country 106.9 this week. It started on Thursday, the first game of the season around the state, and it was a big night to start off year 2 for head coach Jared Swafford and the Seaman Vikings. They took down the Topeka West Chargers by a margin of 58-14 in the first game for both programs, still as league mates, but now in the United Kansas Conference. Seaman posted over 400 rushing yards in the game. They didn't have a single passing yard or a single passing attempt in the entire second half of that contest. They still put up 58 points in the game. Meanwhile, for Topeka West, it was their first game under new head coach Russell Norton, who said that his program, the Chargers, have a lot to work on, but also a lot to work with. Malachi Berg, the star quarterback for the Chargers, did have a good game in the losing effort, throwing for 244 yards and a pair of touchdowns. Friday night, our 580 Preps game of the week over on Country 106.9. It was one for the books for so many reasons, but most importantly of all of it, it was Highland Park's first win in almost 8 years to the day. 65 consecutive losses for the Scots, but Jermaine Monroe's team in their first game in the newly minted Meadowlark Conference picks up a victory, 60-47 over the Bulldogs of Wyandotte, their new league mates. We went well over 20 combined penalties in the game. There were multiple turnovers. The game itself took over 3.5 hours, but in the end, the Scots came away with the 60 points and the victory. And that was significant for the team as a whole, and especially for future New Mexico State Aggie Trey Richardson, who went off in the season opener. He went for over 400 combined total yards, over 300 yards from scrimmage, 4 rushing touchdowns, a receiving touchdown, and even threw a touchdown pass as well in the first win for Highland Park since September 12th of 2014. Other action from Friday night around the city, a big win for Washburn Rural, going down to the Air Capital and taking down Wichita East 49-42, a shootout in that one. Washburn Rural, the defending league champs in the Centennial League, co-league champs anyway, 7th ranked team in Class 6A in the preseason Kansas Preps media poll, and they come away with an impressive win in week 1. Hayden also with an impressive win in week 1. The Wildcats were able to end the Olpe Eagles' 24-game winning streak with a 21-7 victory in that contest. And one other team from the county that won this week, Silver Lake, taking down Riley County 28-21. That game is significant because it was the first game for new head coach Logan Pegram, replacing the legendary winningest coach in Kansas history, C.J. Hamilton. As for the other teams around the city this weekend, Shawnee Heights fell in its opener to Kansas City Piper, 31-20 in United Kansas Conference action. Shawnee Heights was actually down 24-0 at the break, outscored Piper in the second half, but could not come away with the victory. Care Paravel, in their first game as a Acacia member, they fall to Axtell in 8-man play, 82-38. Care Paravel actually led in the third quarter 32-30, but Axtell ended the game on a 52-6 run. That is an unbelievable run for that 8-man game. Additionally, Rossville saw its 26-game winning streak come to a close. The Bulldogs had won 26 straight, back-to-back undefeated 2A championship seasons. They lose in a Mid-East League game to the St. Mary's Bears, 20-13. That does it for our rewind of week 1 of the high school football season in Topeka and Shawnee County. Be on the lookout, though, for our 580 Preps week 2 game of the week. It's coming up over on Country 106.9 on Friday night, September 9th. We're headed down 24 Highway to Silver Lake, and we will see Logan Peagram's Eagles take on Bill Arnold and the Hayden Wildcats. What a game that will be. Kickoff is set for 7 o'clock with pregame at 6:45 on Country 106.9 next Friday night. For the 580 Preps Rewind, I'm Brendan Dzwierzynski. Make sure you check out 580 Sports Talk from 3 to 6 every weekday on 580 WIBW, and mic'd up with Jake and Fulton every weekday from noon until 3 on the same station. And follow us on Twitter as well. That is @SportsOn580 across our social media platforms. We'll talk to you next week for the 580 Preps Rewind.